What if God chose you to change history before you even knew who you were? Today's Bible story is about Moses, a man saved as a baby, raised in a palace, humbled in the desert, and used by God to set a nation free. This is not just a story about miracles. It is a story about calling, obedience, and trust in God. Let us begin. The people of Israel were living in Egypt. At first, they were welcomed, but over time they became very many. The king of Egypt, called Pharaoh, became afraid of them. So he made the Israelites slaves. They were forced to work hard, building cities, carrying heavy loads, and suffering under cruel masters. Their cries went up to God. Pharaoh gave a terrible order. All Hebrew baby boys must be thrown into the Nile River. It was a dark and painful time, but God already had a plan. A Hebrew woman gave birth to a baby boy. She hid him for 3 months. When she could hide him no longer, she placed him in a basket, covered it with tar, and gently set it among the reeds of the Nile River. She trusted God. Pharaoh's daughter came to bathe in the river. She saw the basket and opened it. Inside was a crying baby. She felt compassion and said, "This must be one of the Hebrew children." She named him Moses, which means drawn out of the water. Moses was raised in Pharaoh's palace, learning wisdom, power, and leadership. But he never forgot where he came from. When Moses was grown, he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. In anger, Moses struck the Egyptian and killed him. The next day, Moses realized his action was known. Pharaoh wanted Moses dead. So Moses fled into the desert. He became a shepherd in the land of Midian. Years passed, from palace to pasture, from prince to shepherd. Moses thought his life was over, but God was just beginning. One day, Moses saw something strange. A bush was on fire, but it was not burning up. As Moses approached, God spoke from the bush. "Moses, Moses." God said, "I have seen the suffering of my people in Egypt. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring them out." Moses was afraid. "Who am I?" he asked. "What if they don't believe me? What if I am not good with words?" God answered, "I will be with you." God revealed his name. "I am who I am." Moses obeyed. Moses returned to Egypt with his brother Aaron. They stood before Pharaoh and said, "Thus says the Lord, let my people go." Pharaoh refused. God sent 10 powerful plagues. Water turned to blood, darkness, sickness, and more. Each time, Pharaoh's heart grew harder. Finally, the 10th plague came, the death of the firstborn. God protected the Israelites through the Passover. That night, Pharaoh gave in. He told the Israelites to leave Egypt. After 400 years of slavery, they were free. Soon after, Pharaoh changed his mind. He sent his army to chase the Israelites. The people were trapped, the sea in front, the army behind. They cried out in fear. But God spoke to Moses, "Raise your staff." Moses stretched his hand over the sea. The waters parted, and dry land appeared. The Israelites walked through the sea safely. When the Egyptian army followed, the waters returned. The Israelites were saved. God had delivered them with his mighty power. God led his people through the desert. He gave them food from heaven, called manna. Water came from a rock. God guided them with a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. Later, God gave Moses the 10 Commandments, showing his people how to live. Moses was not perfect, but he was faithful. The story of Moses teaches us. God hears the cries of his people. God can use anyone, no matter their past. Waiting seasons prepare us. Obedience leads to freedom. God's power is greater than any fear. If God could use a baby in a basket, a shepherd in the desert, he can use you too. Trust him. Your journey matters.